Good afternoon, WSSEA. We are back with some more Splatoon 3 action. We got Tenino, we got Sedro-Woolley. Should be an absolutely great matchup. My name's Spicy. Once again, joined on the mic here with Neptune. How are we doing today?
We are doing great. We have two iconic Washington schools duking it out here once again with a rescheduled match for week number 2 here. But before we get started, we do have a shout out you have to give here. We have to give a shout out to Zotac because they are powering today's stream here. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring you this broadcast and help showcase the amazing talent in Scholastic Esports. You can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure to join their community on Discord and don't forget to use the hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post.
Yeah, Zotac, as you mentioned, longtime supporter here of WSSEA, and we have two groups here, different histories here in this league already. Sedro-Woolley, a group that's been here a long time. I remember we saw them way back 2024. I've seen them in basically every game I do commentary here with WSSEA for, and it's love to see that. Meanwhile, Tenino, a little bit newer, but they're already off to such great success, being champions in Smash and Rocket League already at the high school and middle school level. So looking to replicate the success here in Splatoon. Even though these teams relatively newer, at least in Splatoon, like in terms of their head-to-head history, they do have that preseason game that already happened way back to start off the season, which while it didn't count, it was a 10-0 victory, 3-2, which is bodes well for a potentially close set. And we're going to be kicking it off with Rainmaker Manta Maria as the first game.
Yeah, for sure. Just the first map mode being Manta Maria Rainmaker. I've seen the couple of past weeks where Rainmaker Manta Maria normally is a pretty big shutdown here. But then again, it was the same team playing it out as well. So maybe there's a little bit of like history here. We can see some shakeups, some mix-ups here. Maybe seeing Smash got me in the behind of seeing those type of areas as well. But hey, this is Splatoon here. And as you mentioned, Tenino has been very successful in Rocket League and Smash Bros. Previously. So I'm curious to see if that talent can kind of really translate over, because I do feel like a lot of those games, like they have similar fundamentals for like reaction time, especially, and recognition on capitalizing off advantage states. So maybe there's something in the water there. I could be wrong, Spicy, but I don't know what else I could really add.
No, I see the vision, because you think about like Rocket League, and especially in a competitive format, the team coordination is all there. In Splatoon, we talk about it like at lengths when it comes to like what separates the good teams from the great teams is the teams that can play actually as a coherent team. So I'm curious to see how that will play out, especially here from Tenino, because this is their first time in Splatoon, I believe. So it's going to be really exciting to see what they do here. We haven't gotten a chance to see them on stream yet either, so new players, new weapons we might be seeing here, new strategies, all great stuff that we could be thinking about as well. So it was Sedro-Woolley who did win this coin flip, so they were able to pick the opening map here. We talked about it a bit, but Rainmaker Manta Maria, it feels very much like a WSSEA map mode. Whereas like you think about like everything, and especially in competitive Splatoon, where certain map mode combinations are like associated with that league, that tournament series, I feel like Rainmaker Manta is just a WSSEA staple at this point.
It is a WSSEA staple at this rate. We're going to keep seeing it each and every single week here. But hey, starting it off here strong, Maria, we're going to have Sedro-Woolley, I believe, going to be in the blue, and Tenino High School going to be in that yellow here. Looking at these weapons here, what's standing out to you, Spicy? Because I'm catching my eyes with those dualies.
Oh yeah, we got dapple dualies on both sides. That's actually really fun stuff. And then a heavily melee comp, if I'm just looking over here over to Nina with the paintbrush, the sword there as well. A lot of things to be really interested in seeing. Just like interesting combos like all across the board in terms of what are we selecting.
Yeah, for sure. I like to notice there's a bit of a contrast here between the two comps, but never mind that. It's already a wipeout here, getting to this first checkpoint here. We're seeing Tenino High School just immediately taking that first fight and looking forward here already. This is, if anything is telling me here, just you can grab and go immediately, especially with the advantage states, but no, wipeout for wipeout here, Spicy.
Yeah, Wipeout for Wipeout is some of the most highlighted stuff here in Splatoon, especially when we have the 3-on-3 format here. Makes it a lot easier to get these picks. And it's so important here as well because Sedro-Woolley now has the opportunity to get this checkpoint. They already surrendered the first one to Tenino, and within the first minute of the game, we already have 2 wipeouts and both checkpoints are already broken.
Yeah, for sure. And we also see the Tenino missiles coming out here, so you already know where they are, but unfortunately slipping off the map right there, going to cause a little bit of a panic here, and leaving you out to dry. But hey, look at this defense here, capitalizing off that state, getting a wipeout here. We already have both checkpoints now. Now it's just going all the way to the enemy spawn and see how far you can go here, Spicy.
Yeah, it's a matter of just seeing, what can you do here? Sedro-Woolley is now going to have the lead. They have a breakaway forming. Should be able to get towards it, and they are going to be able to get this game on their map selection here as well. Sedro-Woolley is going to go up 1-0 so far in this set.
1-0 so far, sending a message here saying, hey, Splatoon is a hard game here. You can't quite balance it like with Rocket League and Smash, because as you saw, those wipeouts and the movement was just absolutely critical for Sedro-Woolley to be able to get the Rainmaker all the way over coast to coast, as a fellow commentator would say here, and just wow, already Sedro-Woolley is showing their expertise from last season and showing it once more on stream, Spicy. I'm speechless.
A little bit of experience. Yeah, it leaves us speechless, and we love to see that here. It's kind of been a prevalent thing here when we look at Rainmaker Banta, where a team will get that breakaway, but it did take a while just to get that breakaway even happening. A lot of chaos in that opening minute alone. We're going to slow it down a bit, or at least kind of, because we are going to Mahi Mahi Resort Splat Zones as the Tenino counterpick.
Oh, Mahi Mahi Splat Zone. So now we're going to something that's a little bit more classic and I'm familiar with here. So Mahi has the main gimmick here as if the water level goes down after, I believe it hits 60 points remaining on the zone here as well. So definitely look out for that, as that just opens up the map. It's very claustrophobic at the beginning because the middle of the map is very small and there's not much to run. There's not a lot of cover, but this allows longer range weapons to be able to dominate as well, both when the water is up and down here. So I'm curious to see if we're going to be seeing some of those longer range weapons come out, or we're just going to stick tried and true here.
Yeah, that's really the interesting dynamic right now, because the one thing that really stood out from both of the comps last game was really short range. Well, not a lot of like range at all. We're very in your face, very melee focused if anything. So now we're going to have a chance to see from both sides what is the counter pick's going to be now that we have a different mode and a different map which does play leverage to those longer range. We're going to get 2 arrow sprays here from the side of Tenino, and then another arrow spray here from the side of Sedro-Woolley.
Yeah, for sure. The Aerospray is a tried and true weapon staple here in WSSEA, either if it's Turf War or Zones. If you need something painted, it's got you covered here. Its fighting capabilities may not be as strong, but it will surely have plenty of booyah bombs to follow, as they already managed to get a kill here and going to go forward here.
Oh, yeah, and Tenino responding, just being able to get a wipeout early again. It's like 2 games in a row with early wipeouts, and having the Aerospray being able to offer so much pain, gonna be things so good for them here. Watch for 2 specials now from the side of Sedro-Woolley. Man, I'm seeing what they're going to be able to do. The water does drop now here, already at the 60, and specials are in play, and now Sedro-Woolley looks to be making an attack. 1 member goes down, and here we come with all the special coordination in the world to take the zone.
Wow, all the special being dumped on the zone is fantastic to be able to flip it here, but you don't really have too much else to extend your pressure here, as the Aerospray manages to clean up 2 of the members here of Sedro-Woolley, and now they are going to be the ones on the back foot here, looking for a way forward here. But wow, Spicy, the zone stays with yellow, like how it's been at the beginning.
And Tenino, the fact that their Aerosprays didn't go down in that team fight made it so important for them, because they were able to pop those booyah bombs. But as we say, that the Reef Slider comes through, not going to be able to cap the zone here, and you're starting to see if Tenino's going to be able to work their way out of their penalty here. One of their members goes down in the process, and they succeed it though. But these Aerosprays are having a lot of success fighting so far from Tenino.
Yeah, for sure. The arrow spray is not typically seen as a fighting weapon, still has the capability of doing it, and just a little bit of that finesse here that's allowing it. And just look at how much hate is being put out here. There's not much room for error here as the 10 ticks around the zone here. Going to be able to knock out. We hear Reef Slider come out. The arrow plays are holding the zone spicy. I don't think they're going to be able to outpace this one.
Wow, and they had the Booyah Bomb ready as well, just in case, and here we are, we're tied up in the set, 1 apiece. Tenino responding with a fairly dominant victory here in Game 2. Wow.
Wow, indeed here. So we're already here. Essentially, we're now to a best of 3, even though it says best of 5 right on that graphic right there. We're kind of a little bit of a neutral state right now for both these teams, but the counter pick situation is still interesting because the mode is already predetermined. You are going to be playing tower control as WSSEA rule set here. However, you get to choose a map from a selected pool here. So definitely speaking here, this is a counter pick, but it's very soft and loose. So you're going to have to choose something that fits the mode and your team specifically.
Definitely, yeah. And we saw that both of these teams are very comfortable flexing off the different weapons depending on the map mode selected. So now we have Sedro-Woolley this opportunity to have the counter pick. You saw that they went on to go Manta Maria for game 1 because of the coin flip, and now we saw what Tenino went to, but we are going to Sturgeon here for tower control game 3.
Sturgeon on tower. Okay, this is a very claustrophobic map, I like to call it. It reminds me a lot of Manta Maria as well, just in the sense of there's a lot of close quarter corridors and opportunities to be able to push up really far into the enemy spawn here. I do want to see some of these weapons come out here as well. I do think the arrow spray might come back as well, because that paint is so important, and if you lose a lot of it on this map, it's almost going to be impossible to get back in here.
I definitely, yeah. I'm interested to see what we got. Oh, some interesting swaps coming now. And basically another set of swaps here from Sedro-Woolley. So what do you see here, Neptune?
I'm seeing a Splatoon wiper on the side of Sedro-Woolley here, and well as seeing the return of the Wellstring again. It's coming out to play a pretty strong weapon with its hammer here, but the Dapple Kit also changed. Rather than Reef Slider, we're going to have the Killer Whale come out to detect people and put a lot of pressure as they're going out right here. Already 2 members down, and they're looking to clean up this last one, but the Booyah Bomb comes out in time. The armor's not going to be shredded here, and it's a fight for mid.
Yeah, and this is going to bode well here for Sedro-Woolley now, who's now in the blue. Still trying to see what they're going to be able to do here after that Tenino response. Sedro-Woolley is going to be able to take the lead here and is at first checkpoint, taking down 2 members in the process, as well as having Special already online from that Wellstring. They're moving this tower very nicely. Zuka in play all the way here in the back. Not sure if they're going to be able to find a pick so far, but the rest of their team is doing such a good job fighting. Spicy Mayo is going to be taken out and now wiped out from Tenino as Sedro-Woolley is roaring past this checkpoint.
Roaring past the checkpoint, indeed. It's just a few more ticks. I don't think they're going to be able to get onto the tower in time. Indeed, a knockout here, very convincingly. Oh, wow. That is how you counterpick in Splatoon 3, folks. Just immediately sending them to a map that does not give them time to breathe, respond, and you know what you're doing. Wow, Spicy. Wow.
Yeah, that was insane. Like, very comfortable counter pick, as you were mentioning here for Sedro-Woolley. Like, we don't see Tower Sturgeon as much anymore. It's kind of fallen out of favor in terms of, like, maps for tower control, but it worked out very nicely, and it was such a fast game as well. We are going to be slowing it down a little bit here, though, for Game 4. This is going to be the first time we see Clam Blitz this season, and Tenino now has the counter pick as well.
Yeah, for sure. Clam Blitz, if you guys are unfamiliar with the map modes as well, typically seen as a lot slower of a game mode because you need to collect power clams in order to form a ball and be able to score into the enemy's territory and basket here. So it's basically a football but with extra steps is like how I like to call it here. But we're going to Inkblot Art Academy immediately. The first Clam Blitz game going to be featured on WSSEA here for this season here. I'm excited, Spicy.
Yeah, a lot of Splatoon 2 map love is what I'm noticing from this set so far. But yeah, Clam Inkblot is still a fairly popular map mode selection. You see it in in different tournaments here as well. So a lot of like traditional counter picks in a way, kind of blending in with some of the more like old school, I guess, as well. And now it's a matter of seeing what do we got here. Tenino having a return to form, bringing the paintbrush back here, and Sedro-Woolley once again bringing similar stuff, having that well string as well as the arrow spread, and then just swapping the different variant of the dapple.
Yeah, for sure. It's a dapple for dapple match here. Both of them have a Reef Slider online, have a lot of paint as well as a torpedo here. So it's kind of interesting how these teams are mirroring each other in a sense, but also being very different. You have a lot of aggression here from Tenino as well, but you also have a lot of defensive power from the side of Sedro-Woolley. But look at this decapitator. Spicy Mayo already taking bites here, looking for another one here. 2 down, but the hammer cleans up here, leading to a wipeout. That hammer got a triple, Spicy.
Yeah, that hammer getting a triple is so powerful indeed. Rose going to be able to open the basket as well. That was another wipe in the opening minute, and make that a double wipe in the opening minute here for Sedro-Woolley, who, despite all that, they've only been able to put the power climb in. They weren't able to follow up.
Yeah, for sure. They weren't able to follow up here. The timing was a little bit tight until the quick clam came into the basket to keep on scoring here. But hey, we now have a pity clam on the board here. Looking forward here, Spicy Mayo looking for that trade. Taking out the Wellstream, a pretty valuable pick considering how much they've been causing so many problems here. But look at this. The other members are following up here, not allowing the other members at Tenino to get into mid here, Spicy.
Yeah, it's difficult so far for Tenino, and their pity clam is going to evaporate as well. This now leaves Sedro-Woolley with a bit of an advantage here, especially if you just look at the clam economy so far. But despite that, it is just their dapple staying alive. They are just hugging this wall, just trying to camp out, see what the rest of the team is doing. And they're going to be able to sneak towards the basket in the process, make it all the way with the QB sneak. The flank there done perfectly. And that's just going to add another power clam towards that count so far, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get any other follow-ups, as Tenino also has a power clam ready, and they're going to have the pity soon.
Yeah, for sure. Already that distraction caused a lot of slowdown here, and now they're trying to build up another power clamp and go all the way to their basket here. However, the problem is fighting up that ramp. It's an uphill battle, both literally and metaphorically here. But hey, look at this. The picks are coming out here. There's just a Reef Slider on the enemy side here. It's going to be able to take out 2 members here. It is scrap for scrap. So much blood being spilled here, and now it's going to be another wipeout here, Spicy.
Yeah, 3 wipeouts from Sedro-Woolley, and we're not even at the halfway point of the game in terms of time. They're looking for another way to get towards the basket, and it's a matter of seeing can they get anything else. That's already 1 pick on the board here as well, trying to see if they'll find anything else. They got 2 specials ready. They got the Reef Slider popping in here towards that cushion, not going to be able to get anything off of it, and you are going to see them just try and dodge these missiles as these Tenino having to just figure out a response, but what a pick here, and finding a second before getting picked out in the process.
Unreal plays coming out here. A Reef Slider respawned immediately to the hammer, but look at this. They're still going to try to go the power clip, but it's not going to be enough here. We see a jump come in here, but immediately gets punished. The paintbrush going to come in as well to see if they can help out, but no. They managed 1 straggler attack in mid here, trying to clean it up, but it's not going to be enough. Sedro-Woolley is in the driver's seat every moment in time, despite how many picks are coming out from both sides.
Yeah, and these Reef Sliders are putting in so much work, but we see the flank around again. Now Tenino is going to get wiped out right before the basket, so they're not going to be able to score. And in the process, Sedro-Woolley will find another wipeout and also open the basket. The clams are funneling on in now as well. Already here at the 51, trying to see if they can find more picks. They already found 2. It is just Chef Caleb alive by their own base, but the damage is starting to get done here as they get wiped out again.
That was 3 wipeouts back to back to back. And one of the things in Splatoon is whoever get your trades, whoever's already benefiting will always get rich and benefit off these situations here. And now we're kind of on the back out here for Tenino, looking for a way to score. They have a Reef Slider to go in, being able to get the picks, but they're not able to get the power clamp here, Spicy. It's a situation where constantly we're able to get these picks here, but the wipeout to respond as well. Wipeout for wipeout here, Spicy.
Yeah, the number of wipeouts from Sedro-Woolley especially has been impressive this game. They're on the verge of finding another here, and as we do that, can they get another? They do. And with less than 30 seconds to go, they're just looking to put in the final daggers on this match so far. They go 2 down in the process, though. It is just their Dapple. It is just Peppermint, who is going to be able to open the basket themselves, though. Add to it and find another wipeout here in the process. They're going to keep the basket open as well, so it doesn't look like we're going to be going to an overtime situation here with no clamps in sight, and Sedro-Woolley will win the set 3-1.
Wow. What a match to see here. Normally, we see Clan Blitz be a lot slower of a game mode here,
yes,
where you have to be a little bit more methodical, but no, both teams decided they wanted to go to Scrap City every situation they can. They chose to fight some more, and I can tell just from the number of wipeouts there that was quite the game, Spicy. Just especially for Sedro-Woolley to be able to get so many wipeouts back to back to back.
Right, like we don't get a chance to see like the actual stats, but I would love to see like the KDAs from like that match alone, because like geez, the number of wipes that were happening. And like the biggest thing was like, especially you look at from Tenino, I know they're like a relatively newer program, and the one thing I think that is a big standout was the amount of stagger they had in that last game, especially where they kind of left themselves open towards like multiple wipeout situations, and especially in the later half. Not exactly the spot you want to be in. It's probably with a little desperation, just unfortunately didn't work out. But hey, props to Sedro-Woolley, especially the fighting in that. Yes. Even with having weapons that don't necessarily thrive on team fighting as well, it's just really great stuff from that squad.
Yeah, for sure. Just you gotta admire the team coordination. Every time there was a reef slider, there was follow-up, right? Every time that shark exploded, even if it didn't get a pick or the rider also got picked off, there always was someone there ready to just get the power clam into the basket or follow up and finish off the remaining members to lead to those wipeouts here. And there's a little bit of a stagger situation here from Tenino here, but hey, this is still an amazing performance for, I believe, their first time participating in Splatoon here, and it's amazing to see talent from both these sides here participating in this week here.
Sure, yeah, and it was a rescheduled week as well from week 2, so it does mean these teams still have some more games the rest of the season to basically adjust, whether it be continued momentum, as we saw with Sedro-Woolley, or to adjust and make a bit of a comeback here from Tenino. So great stuff from both of these squads, and congratulations to Sedro-Woolley. But that will wrap up the coverage for us here with WSSEA Splatoon 3. Before we head off, though, we do have to give a huge shout out to LANFest, because this broadcast is part of LANFest Scholastic Esports program, a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LANFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts of Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana, and we provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, schools, and teams we cover, and your generous donations make this all possible. Every $200 raised covers the operating costs for one regular season broadcast, so if you appreciate our work, scan the QR code on screen and donate today.
Yes, thank you to LANFest as well as our other sponsors, Zotac Gaming here, for bringing you this stream here today, because without them, we wouldn't have been able to see such amazing Splatoon action here over at WSSEA, as well as the other esports. I believe there's going to be Overwatch tomorrow, as well as Smash Bros. The following day, so tune in if you want to see more Scholastic esports here as well. But Spicy, that is going to be it for today. Where can the fine people find you?
Find me at various socials at 2SpicyBM, being involved with Splatoon, as well as pretty much every other Nintendo esport out there. Neptune, always a pleasure casting with you. Where can the great people of the scene find you?
You can find me in other aspects of the Splatoon community as well, mainly the collegiate one here as well. But if you're looking for me specifically, I'm normally on Blue Sky with Neptune-TV over there, as well as Twitch occasionally here as well. I usually love commentating and casting a lot of these talents here as well, especially with Scholastics. There's so much unseen faces that are able to put on such a great show, and every single time just brings a smile to my face. What could I say?
Understood completely. So once again, that wraps up the coverage here for this week of Splatoon at WSSEA. But We got Overwatch tomorrow. We got Smash Ultimate on Thursday as well. Be sure to tune in for that, and we will see you guys next time.